Okay, guys, I have a confession to make. You know me as your finance buddy, the guy who talks about ETFs, compound interest, and how to beat the market, but I wasn't always this smart. In fact, I used to be an idiot, a massive financial idiot. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. Buying a car I couldn't afford, using credit cards for stupid stuff. But there is one mistake, one specific moment that still makes my blood boil when I think about it. Let me take you back to when I was 22? Yeah, 22, fresh out of college, got my first real paycheck, and I thought, Finn, you need to be responsible, you need to invest. So, what did I do? Did I open a brokerage account? Did I buy an index fund? No, I put on my only button-down shirt, I walked into my local bank, and I asked to speak to an advisor. I sat down in this fancy office, leather chair, glass walls. The guy, let's call him Michael. Michael was super charming. It was firm handshake, perfect hair. He offered me an espresso, not the machine coffee, like a real espresso. And I sat there drinking my free coffee, feeling like a total boss. I thought, this is it. I'm an adult. I have a guy for my money. Michael looked at my savings, smiled, and pulled out these colorful brochures. I talked about strategic asset allocation, active management. Here's beating the volatility. It sounded so complicated and so smart. He said, Finn, trust me, this premium growth fund is exactly what you need. I leave the hard work to the experts, and like a naive puppy, I nodded, and I signed the dotted line. I walked out of there feeling great. I thought I had just made the best decision of my life. Fast forward 3 years, just 3 years. I started learning about investing for real. I started reading books. I started looking at the numbers, and one day, I pulled out that old contract I signed with Michael, and I finally saw what was in the fine print. The stuff Michael forgot to mention while I was sipping his espresso, a 5% front-end load. That means for every $100 I gave him, $5 went straight into Michael's pocket, instantly gone. And then the annual fees, 2.5% every single year, whether the fund went up or down. Michael and his bank took their cut. I felt sick. Honestly, I felt betrayed. I realized Michael wasn't my advisor, and he wasn't helping me build wealth, and he was harvesting me. I was just a commission check to him. It's like asking a shark for swimming lessons. Of course, he's going to eat you. And the worst part, it wasn't illegal. It was standard procedure. It happens to millions of people every single day. Maybe it happened to you. And look, I know some of you are thinking, Finn, calm down. It's just a couple of percent. Was it really that bad? Oh, you have no idea. Let me show you the math that made me want to punch a hole in my drywall. Let's say young Finn had kept investing in that garbage fund for 30 years. Let's say I put in $50,000 over time. And let's say the market does its thing, 7% average return. If I had done it myself with a cheap ETF, I would end up with roughly $380,000. But with Michael's premium fund, with those fees eating my compound interest like a parasite, I would only have $216,000. $160,000. That is the cost of my ignorance. That is a house. That is putting my future kids through college. That is retiring 10 years early. That isn't just a fee. That is life-changing money that transfers from my pocket to the bank's profit margin, just so Michael can have nice hair and a glass office. Okay, woosah. Deep breath. I'm ranting again, but I needed to get that out, because here is the thing, and this is why I started this channel. I eventually fired Michael. I moved my money, and yes, I paid some penalties to get out, but it was the best decision I ever made, because I learned the secret that the banks don't want you to know. Investing is not hard. They make it look hard with the jargon and the charts, so you feel like you need them. It's a magic trick, but once you see behind the curtain, you realize it's just basic math. You don't need a suit. You don't need an advisor. And you definitely don't need their expensive coffee. You can buy a global index fund or an ETF on your phone for almost zero fees. So learn from my mistake. Please don't be 22-year-old Finn. Don't be impressed by the office. Don't fall for the expert talk. Nobody cares about your money as much as you do. And not Michael, not the bank, nobody. Be your own finance buddy. If you have an advisor right now, do me a favor. Hang up this video, go look at your contract, and find the words total expense ratio. If it is over 1%, run. And if you want to know exactly how to invest by yourself without getting ripped off, that is what I teach on this channel. Deep shits. So hit that subscribe button. I made the mistakes, so you don't have to. See you in the next video. And remember, watch out for the sharks. My cheers.